Morning. How are you doing?
Hi, Hayden. All good. You?
Yeah, great, thanks.
Good.
Morning, mate.
Good morning.
Caught up with some of your sleep?
Yeah, a bit. Kind of tough to sort of go sleep like be up all one night and then have to sleep the next night.
Yeah,
So
that's not good.
yeah, so it kind of really disrupted. It was like I was trying to like sleep. I could only sleep for like a couple of hours, and then we had people coming into the house to view it. So we told the real estate that we don't want anyone here again till next week, because we're doing the main move with all dust, like the van and everything, this Friday. But I've got tomorrow's gonna be another busy day. So, where are we? Oh, German 40 today, aren't we? It's already moved, which is a bit annoying. This Euro session's looking like it's already moved. Oh, it's not too bad, I guess. 7 o'clock. Here's the open candle. So we've moved 41 pips. It's not too bad at all. Gold. I was kind of annoyed with this one. I did take a trade here yesterday in this zone, and I'm annoyed I didn't hold it. But I thought this was. I actually really, like, when I tuned in to the New York stream, I was planning this. I'm not sure who was there in that stream, but price was up at around about this level. And I was like, sells make a lot of sense to be taken from around this level, but I was hoping it would push up into 1900 before it sold off, and it started falling first, and I was like, well, I'm going to take buys actually. So what I wanted to do was take buys from this area, but prices fell through it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I had to like hold off on that, and then price tapped into the monthly level, and then started forming this support. And then after I saw this clean candle, I was like, yeah, I think this one could be alright. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. So I was interested in taking buys back up in this zone, and it was here. I just hovered here for ages and ages, and I had I did take a little buy in, what point was it? It was 1889. I think it was after this candle broke here, and this slowdown made me think otherwise. And once the price pushed up, I think it was that candle even. No, sorry, it was inside of this candle, and that's when I thought, oh, I'm just gonna take it at that point, because it's kind of, see, the time was like 5:10. I was like, this is way out of my trading time that I should be trading. Target was 1900. It could have been a killer 100 pip move. But it was an interesting move. Like, have a look at this. Price did a manipulation right over here, and here, and it pushed price down. So this was a sell to buy move based on what happened once it really pushed up. So it's often gonna retest this area. And I was saying to Akshay and the guys, I was like, I'm gonna plan buys around this 1889 area, but I need to see some sort of sign that it's going to respect it first before I jump into those buys. And like, it gave like a clue here, but then it just proceeded to drop, and I was like, we'll just wait till it gets back up here then, because maybe it will just sell off. And it did a manipulation sell here. Now, why I was looking for those buys is like this area didn't make a lot of sense for me for it to turn around in. Although I really wasn't expecting it to turn around at this level. If I look to the left, there was nothing here. It was over here. This was the area. Maybe I could jump up a time frame at this point. I'll go up to the 1 hour. It might be too long. Yeah, no, 1 hour's fine. It was this candle. This is the candle that I thought it was going to retest. This was Thursday's candle. I believe it was a news candle for sure. I'm not 100%. I can't quite remember. My brain's a bit thick this morning. But it might have even have been some sort of unemployment for sure. Unemployment and something else. Last Thursday. Oh, it was just unemployment. Oh, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. That's what else it was. Yeah. Unemployment claims. So this was my target for price to have turned around in from around this 1900, and it turned around just short of it. And I was like, okay. So I really do think it's gonna hit these levels. So any buys would be a great opportunity. So I did get those buys. I got those buys, but I only took out like 20 pips max. Then price carried on to the level. How did you guys go yesterday?
I was in the German 40 London session and was, as discussed with you previously, I was extremely patient and I expected the price to tap into the doji lows that are left behind on the 15-minute, 30-minute, I think it was, before going up. I was definitely long bias, but I thought it would drop down lower to take out some of that liquidity before it went north. I didn't, so I just watched it go, and then I got into I had a couple of zones marked out. I got through the first zone, got to the second zone, reacted off it, and I thought it's still going long, so I took 20 pips out between those zones, and I was really happy that I waited till that point and traded between zones, and yeah, it was good.
Good one.
Yeah, I did bring my, as I discussed, I'm trying to resist the urge to bring my stop loss off, but I couldn't resist the urge. I did it, and I could have got another 25 pips.
Okay.
but I'm glad I waited, and I'm glad I took a good trade.
Good one. Good one. Did so Ivan took the sell from the top. Yeah, that was a good sell area. Did you take out for the New York session? It was good because this candle was so fast, straight out of the blocks. 141 pips. Pretty much the range, isn't it? Pretty much a range. So like on the 1 minutes, it was the first, because like I obviously wasn't here, but the very first candle took that little, did a little push down and then pushed up, and the very first candle was like 12 pips, and then it was just push. So the first 5 minute candle just shot out of the blocks, just boom, then boom, then it reacted here slowly, and this has been something that's been happening quite a bit, isn't it? This little slowdown, but really it's just like correction, like just push up, correct a little bit, push up again, correct a little bit, push up again. So I had been, because I was up all through the night, I saw this candle live. I was like, that's very strange. Very strange to have a candle like that. So this 1 minute candle, or two 1 minute candles. Cause everything, all of these percentages just started like going a little bit haywire. So I was like, I don't know what happened. Something exactly at 2:15 a.m. Gold was a 100 pip Asian session. So I knew there was volatility. So where's 2:15 here? $2.15 is this candle. Yeah, but 100 pip Asian session for gold. So there was definitely, 90 pips, sorry. So I said, be ready for volatility. Because there was something going on yesterday. Now I couldn't find any news. I had a little search around, but the financial juice said nothing. Forex didn't have really anything really planned apart from there was like Chinese 1 year loan prime rates. I guess that's really 2.15.
Move was earlier than that, mate. Oh, sorry, it's your time.
Yeah, my time. So I guess because there is quite a lot of focus of Chinese economy right now. So anyway, let's have a look now. Amabot's triggered a trade. Yeah, Amabot and pound Aussie spiked down into this. Normally I would have timed everything out, but I was trying to actually capture this. So spiked down into it. Or maybe I think Euro Aussie it entered a bit higher, but it's running all right at the moment. Fingers crossed. Pound Aussie did the same thing. Let's not spook it. See if it gets to the magic mark of 2,000. 2 to 1. Okay, so got 9 minutes till the open. I'm guessing this is gonna. I won't say anything just yet. Let me have a look. Let me create my bias. Feel rusty. So, daily wick to fill. Daily wick to fill. We did have some recovery overnight in some stocks. Tech shares, big tech. Tesla was the biggest mover, 7.3%. What was this? Microsoft moved up, Amazon moved up, Apple moved up. Nvidia is coming up soon. Nvidia earnings, so that's going to be interesting. At the moment, I think that's pushing things up. But can we do a daily wick fill? Where do I want to take sells from? Where do I want to take buys from? Morning, Maran. Morning, Dan. How's your finger? Yeah, Nvidia. Semiconductor chips. What's this, man? India 1? No, Nvidia. So let me type it up. The graphics card company. Nvidia. That's tomorrow. Because they're one of the biggest companies in the world now. So if they announce record, they're going to announce. It looks like they're probably going to. If they're expected to beat earnings, then you're going to start seeing their that rise. So that's going to then push. It's going to collectively push up the indices. Oh, is that what happened with the Elon Musk thing? First time you heard about Nvidia, the share price was $30. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. What's it now? But you don't even know how many times they've probably split their stocks as well. So it could be a multiple. 470. But this is a real, like, if they don't beat their earnings, this is a real buy the rumor, sell the news example, where they're sort of pricing in that they're going to smash it. But look at it. Look at this rise. Wow. Yeah, it went up 8.5% in one day. So this lifted optimism for all of indices. So I'm guessing there's probably still going to be some bullishness, even because like stocks have a contagion effect. Especially when you're dealing with indices. Okay. So, oh my God. So if we're looking for buys, here is a 4-hour, beautiful liquidity, a little bit of a doji, but it's grabbed a little bit of liquidity, maybe on like the lower time frame, the hour time frame. So we are pushing up. Where do we have? We have a zone right here, based on the 4-hour. I want to refine this level. So I want to look at the 2 hours. Oh, look at that, no wick candle. So imbalance right there. There's a doji above it. Let's take out both of them. Okay. Now I've got doji over here as well. No wick candle, good thing, thank you. I'm going to change this zone so it's a light grey, and I'm just going to look at it where there's been rejections from. So all these little like wicks and things have been poking into this little zone. So that's an area of contention. Then we've got what Ivan pointed out. Asian session is open with no bottom wick basically. Well, when we started moving up. So there's liquidity there as well. Asian session low. Check the 1 hour. 1 hour, don't see a whole lot. Little doji here, I'll just recycle and reuse because we're not into waste. I'll delete it. That one's old news. This is old news. Thanks, babe. We tapped into that zone last week, which is good. We've got an order block here. So this is, oh, look at that. Can't ignore that. So I'm not going to buy into that. Yeah, definitely not going to buy into that. So maybe a buy, sell, buy. Because we've still got this empty space up here. Yeah, that's my plan. Push out of the blocks. Push out of the blocks to start with. And then I'm going to look for it to take the low, and then I'm going to look for those longs. So let's see if I can, if this stays good. 130 pips. Now, the only question is this. That is a big question. Sorry, I'm not following the market for a few days. What's happened to AUD? AUD just died in the ass. That's what it did. It died. It's just gone. Well, it went sideways here, but when the interest rates come out next week, I think it's next week. Next month. It's next month. This might push it to 2 to 1. If not, it'll be the week after. We might even be sitting 2.1 when the BOE raise their interest rates. This one, yeah, September 21. Maybe we'll see 2.1. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if that's a long way away though. But yeah, it's not looking good. Okay, so we're here. This is the open now. Let me just see. I'm not interested in taking something immediately. But we're a clean zone up the top. This is a definite little area we might see reactions from. And it's got space here. We've got a no wick candle in the New York session as well. So this could be this. I've changed the layout for the stream, but I'm gonna have to test it tomorrow. Okay, little manipulation here as well. Hmm. Two times 15-minute bullish FUs in Frankfurt hour, so I should push up further, like you said first. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little fake out from the top, and then they come back down. I don't really want to take this breakout where it is. Sell side, then buy side, they push down. That's my analysis. Buy side. Sorry, there's a little heart in the way. Sell side, then buy side to push down. Could probably take either one of these. It's big enough to take either one of these. Yeah. We'll switch to all chart view. Hey Pat, welcome. Oh, there he is. How are you? Hey Deb, watching on the YouTube. Cool. Aaron's not participating, just watching. All good. Hey, I messaged you as well on Discord. Watching these zones closely. So 50% of euro taken now, pushing to the upside. Oh, all good, yeah, take your time. Okay, so we're in the New York area. This is around where London High, New York started. So our New York high was 15,700, pretty much 15,700. But we did start having some selling push into this area. So let's see what happens around this zone. I might actually be interested in taking these sells if I see some. It might be a dangerous one, kind of, but yeah, I'm going to be super patient on this one. But I would be interested in sells if I start seeing candles like these kind of ones, top wicks closing bearish around about this area. Closing above 17,110. Did I say that right? 15 set. I'm not sure if I even said that right. 15,710, 15710. Something closing above here will invalidate these sells. A 5-minute time frame. If a 5-minute candle closes above here, this potential sell idea is invalidated. If I see it pulling liquidity from up this area, followed by a second candle retesting it, then I'll look to sell down to the Asian low. That's my idea. Depending on how this all plays out, maybe we'll do a sell and a buy in this stream. But I need to see it. I need to see this initial move slow down a bit. What's everyone else's ideas? What are you guys seeing? Seeing something the same otherwise? London High is your target. London High being 7. Yeah, that's the 7,110. 710. I'll just say 710. Having my first sip of coffee now, so I might wake up soon. Yeah, it's bullish for me, and if we break through that consolidation, we might be going even further up. Yeah, I think a better up move would be once it takes some liquidity. I find it difficult for Asian session to be bullish, Euro session to be bullish, London session to be bullish, New York session to be bullish. I find that scenario, even though it can happen, I would say that that's like maybe a 20% chance, like a 1 in 5% chance. So it can happen. It's just it doesn't happen all that often, where every single session is the same direction. If you just go back and have a look. Obviously, when there's like this one here, no, this one was a little bit bullish for Euro. There's definitely been times that you go through the charts and you see that it has happened, but it doesn't happen all that often. So if I just had to say, just from a probability point of view, I'd say there's going to be some session that gives you a bit of a pullback. And that's the kind of probability I'm looking to capitalize on, just to try to see which session is going to give an opposite move. Your TP is 710. Oh, so you're in the buys already, eh? What area did you buy from? It's colluded with London High's target. You got confluence with R1 on the pivots. Cool. I like to hear confluence. The pullback and retest the 15-minute liquidity candle, which was the 15-minute HCS. Pullback and retest of the 15-minute. Oh, so here. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't really. Good spotting. I missed that one. This is a liquidity candle. Pulled back. This is another liquidity candle. All right. That actually makes another idea quite simple. Kind of missed that. So this is a support zone now. If it breaks underneath it, if it closes underneath this area, then this is an easy sell. It's kind of your line in the sand. You can trade above the support, or you can trade below that, below it. Underneath will be a resistance, that line. Good one. So make sure you don't jump into anything impulsively here. Gotta wait for signs that it slows down. If it misses and just keeps on going straight up, then you'll be thankful you didn't take a trade. And if there's no trade today, that's okay too. You know, if you don't have the right bias and you don't see the move, a no trade day is still an okay day. So what have we moved? 38 pips, 39 pips. So I want to see signs now of it starting to slow down. Little gap up over here in the 3 minutes. Let it close, let the candle close. You got Doji on the H4, H2 at 15.719. We might take that and push down on the 1 hour and 2 hour. $7.19. So you're talking about this candle here. On top of this green box. Yeah, if it starts getting above this green box, it's quite empty space above it. That was kind of like, this is the move I was really wanting to target. But I don't like entering, I'd be targeting that move between the green box and up here as well, because there's empty space up here. But I mean, it has picked up some fuel with these two candles, but I like those clean candle runs once it has picked up fuel from either below Asian low, or if it's had a pullback and it does it again. I feel that's a buyer's trap. Like this candle here, and I could be wrong, but I feel like there would be a lot of breakout buyers looking at this area, and this is where we see the candles start to pull back from. Oh, yeah, you're right. You can't see my message. My message is not there. What happened to it all? There's been no messages since. That's strange. I'll fix it up later on. Okay, so what are we going to do here? 3 minutes, sorry, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Okay, we're closed. We close above this zone. Now I need to reconsider this. I'll move it up to here. See if that doji does hold out. If I see signs, if I do see those wicks to the top and bearish candles and a retest, I'll look for a sell. But there's a lot of momentum here. It looks like it might have to wait longer. The French, is it front? The CAC is better. Let's have a look quickly. Yeah, we don't know what happened on the Asian session on the CAC. 15-minute candle is only a much smaller one. It's all good. Let's see what's going on. We might just keep on pushing as well. That's the other scenario. There's a reason I'm not really on the 1 minute time frame. So these 1 minutes will probably give you a signal to go and sell. So I don't want to jump into something unless it's like a stronger confirmation. Yeah, because the problem is a clean candle on the left now. So maybe this is going to rise and we look for a sell from here, which would be more or less 80 odd pips. Then just above it, 20 odd pips. This would be a typical London volume range, 108 pips to the next point of interest. And I'll just have to say that the volume move was up, and I might just have to look for a if the volume move was up, that means now I'm not really looking for like a 50, 100 pip move. Then perhaps what I'd probably then start to look for maybe is like a 30 pip just to get in and out. Yeah, we closed above here as well. So definitely pushing up. But anyone that's sort of looking for buys around here, it's going to be a difficult one. Oh, we didn't close on the 5 minute though. 5 minutes still alive. What I like about it is like we're making a high. So that really confirms, once we've made a high, it really confirms we'll retest the high. Now the question is, how low can I get it? Is it going to really do something like this now? It's starting to look a little bit like this won't happen. But if it's made a high, pulls back 8 times out of 10, now we'll retest whatever high was made. Okay, so I really want this candle to close around here. The next candle is going to tell me a lot of information, because it will either just completely engulf this candle, and then there's much more to be had. I'll close a little doji. We're starting to get closer to the 8:30 candle, and we did have a few moves last week around 8:35 for the correction. But we just need to see how this 30-minute candle is going to close, because if it's closing, the last, like, say 5-minute candle closes bearish, like a decent bearish, then it's just creating that top wick for the next 30-minute candle to keep on pushing up. So I think these sells, we're going to be, not me, there's some people in buys, but if I'm looking to take this sort of corrective move, I'm already now just preparing myself that there's going to be some waiting involved. Yeah, looks like it's going to engulf it. There's a way to get this move as well. I'm not too comfortable with these sort of breakout moves when I feel like I've prime entry was so low. I'm not going to change my bias either. To see, was there any headlines coming out in the last 20 minutes? Nothing. See, this is the tricky candle, because it's looking nice, does for a rejection. Problem's the time. So I'd like to see this one at least retested and rejected again. I can't even do anticipation entry here, because like anticipation entry normally would be if we get like a couple little candles and then pushing up and entering around here, and then anticipating that this candle is going to close like that for then this drop. Because even if it does this kind of like little sideways motion, and then anticipating that this is going to be the candle that closes bearish, the 30-minute, or let's say the 30-minute, could just be making the top wick, pulling down a little bit to create the bottom wick of the next 30-minute candle, and then do a wick fill for the 30-minute candle, and then keep on pushing up. So it's good to be mindful of, even if we're looking at like the 5-minute time frame or the 3-minute time frame, be really mindful of where you are on the 15, the 30, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, because this is often a trap. This was here on the 1 minute. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, just there. Yeah. Yeah, it did it. I did a 1 minute little HCS. Oh, far out. It's dropping fast. Shit. Oh well. It wasn't a trap. It's okay. Because this 30-minute... what I was worried about is that we're so close to this 30-minute candle closing, and I was so worried this candle was going to close around here to do then a higher time frame wick fill. Anyway, I've got to stay true to what I'm looking at. It's amazing how there was clean candles to the left, and because we've just been pushing up and up and up, I'm 100% certain people jump into buys up here, and then this happens. So with a bit of luck, I can get those buys from the bottom. My original plan. Because here I couldn't. It just didn't set up the way I wanted it to. So I'm not going to jump into anything. I'm not. That doesn't set up the way I want it to. I know you're not into trend lines. However, the trend line from 10 August. You mean from like across here? Like that? Is that what you're looking at? Yeah, I'm not into trend lines. only if it like, yeah, the bottom of the trend. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's up. I've got no problem with them. They're just not. I just don't use them whatsoever. Sometimes, very rarely, I'll pop them in, but I know I haven't studied them enough. I haven't studied them enough to be consistent with how I use it. All right, so 30-minute candle closed. Closed bullish, making that high. 1 hour candle still open. So the jury is still out whether this is going to be a bullish or a bearish candle. Now, you've got your 1 minute HCS or reject. I'm on the wrong chart, sorry. You've got your 1 minute here. This now is a resistance being formed. Price will often retest that. No, it's no dumb questions, Dave. What makes you predict it will come back down to the 15,600 mark? This candle here, this one here, the one that's got no wick on it, and that this is the Asian low. So I feel like there was something happened that made a lot of buyers step in, and there was something here as well also in the New York session the previous day where a lot of buyers stepped in. So the market will eventually find its way back down to these levels because there will be leftover orders here. So no wick candles are a point of interest. So that was a no wick, no bottom wick. That one's got no top wick. That one's got no bottom wick. So at some stage, it's going to come back down to these levels. Yep. You're welcome. Okay, so if this truly is a resistance, this has to hold. So if we see another little setup, another rejection from this zone, maybe then we can take those sells. If this breaks, then we're pushing up, and then we can look for retest down to this area even. So let's just see. How many times did we see one 15-minute candle eventually just get engulfed? Last week. It does happen. So I'm still not convinced for these sells. Could still be a 15-minute wick fill. What I would like to look at is the top of the candles. I would like to have looked and seen, well, here's an, oh, see, I don't really want to be on this 1 minute time frame though, because I'll find entries everywhere. But if this was a manipulation up, and then we broke it, then I would say that this is an area to be looking for sells from. But the 1 minute is dangerous, man. If this is indeed holding, I potentially can look for sells back under here. But I think I'll take a late entry and then look for a 1-to-1 risk reward. Because you remember all the different types of entries we have in our arsenal, don't you? Everyone remembers that. So we have cowboy, anticipation, confirmation, late. If this was a higher time frame, cowboy would be here, anticipation would be here, confirmation would be here, late would be somewhere if this creates a resistance again, and it'll be like down here. So cow, anticipation, confirmation, late. But this is also a 1 minute time frame, and I'm not really interested on that. So let's see if the 3 minute gives us something. At the moment, I'm still waiting. See the 30 minutes just push straight up, doing this wick fill now. It's teasing. If it closed above, wicked down, and then broke above again, then the opposite of this move, the opposite of those cowboy anticipation, confirmation lates, our late entry would be if this closes above, something wicking down, breaking the high here. I wonder if you can take 20 pips out of it. I'm gonna hold out for my sells. Look at the 15 from yesterday. Like, oh, this is almost looking the same, isn't it? Bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Yeah. That's the danger of seeing any of these little setups around this time. Because they're not reliable. And that's, I've learned from experience not to go for them. Because look at this. The 1 hour hasn't changed. The 1 hour has just been bullish, bullish. Yeah, they loaded the same program. Yeah. So, probably the same scenario as well. Probably the same scenario as well, that once it breaks the high, get that little 20 pip push. Yeah, like this. That was around that 20 pip push. And then start planting those sells. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, that's right, Marin. Good for scalping only. So I kind of just want to take one trade that's good for like at least 30 pips. Preferably 50 to 100. Rather than taking a bunch of little trades. Especially when I'm trying to like talk about trying to communicate what's going on in my thought process with these streams. I'm not really interested in just doing, maybe if I was just trading by myself, I'd be happy to be going in and out because I'm not trying to think about things as much. I'll trade without distraction. Otherwise I'll be really, really planned and patient. I wonder if it reaches 800. Maybe. Not without a pull up. But I don't think without a pullback. That's a hell of a move. Without a pullback. It's 180 pips. I can do that. But let's see what it does here. Because this is the clean candle zone. And this is an order block up here. From Thursday last week's New York and London highs. So there's the break up, pull back, breaking the high. This would be your late entry, 20 pips. I know myself as well though. I know that if I take buys here, I'll miss my initial sell. I'll miss my sells because I won't want to trade against myself. I won't want to take a buy and then sell into my buy. Terry, I'm guessing you survived that pullback. Your entry should have been sweet around here. Wait for 850 to 9. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is the thing with we were blessed last week with the move that we're done in 20 minutes. It's not every day. Do you remember what I'm looking for if I'm gonna consider a cowboy entry at one of these levels? Do you remember what I'm looking for by watching these candles? Yep, Ivan, you got it. Do you guys remember what I'm looking for? This is for cowboy moves. This is something that should precede a cowboy move. We discussed it in the study session on Sunday. Yeah. If I'm gonna take a cowboy trade at one of my zones, what am I looking for the candles to do before I do a cowboy move? Yeah. Yeah, Nigel got it, Daniel got it. It's on G Drive, yeah, Marin. Yeah, I uploaded it straight away. Looking for acceleration. Looking for velocity of the candle. So I'd like to see like a really just, I'd like to see a candle like really jump. Because the fast move would be like a bit of a false move. Yeah, it was only a short one as well, so it's, I think it was no longer than 1 hour. Probably even less. More like on, it was more focused on trade management. All the trades last week were done in trade breakdowns on YouTube. So we didn't really need to go back and do that. It's already been recorded. Cool. Look at this. Look at this. Like just steady moves. Body's almost the same size. Little no wick candle. $15-minute easily cleared the previous one. Getting up into this order block area. Like how it's taken out this resistance. I know there'll be a ton of, because this is a swing high, there'd be a ton of sellers looking to sell it around here. Now we're in this zone. So remember the pancake analogy. Let's just see it eat a couple pancakes, be full, and then push down. So now the same thing we're looking for is here. Now that we've had like a beautiful clean move up, we've exceeded a typical range for London. Well, we're getting to the highs of a typical range before we have correction. So those sells, even though now it's going to be a bit of a counter trend trade, I was hoping it was going to be a trend trade. Now it's going to be a counter trend trade. So just all that changes is probably the way I manage my trade in terms of like where I take profits or how I scale. But when we're looking at like these pink sections, now you can see they're all more or less like of a similar size, and this one's got a little bit more room to go before it get like all. Yesterday was a big day, but like days like this, you can see how we get corrections towards the end of the moves. Okay, so even if we're taking like a correction, there was a 50 pips. There's 50 pips room there. Yes, this Thursday was a real struggle. Remember this one? This was where we had to be very, very patient, and then the move actually came in New York. But then this one here for last Friday, I think we took. Friday was an easy day in terms of like just grabbing those sells, but afterwards there was the correction. 85 pips. Yesterday, even yesterday's correction was about 38 pips before the New York session. So we know we can probably get 30 pips from up around here. Yeah, I mean it could keep going up, so we just need to look at the price action. Just need to see what it does. If we see something familiar, we'll execute on it. Let's see. So I think if it pushes up, it'll definitely come back down to this level. It'll definitely push up and at least come back to here before it does something. This is a question mark, what it does around here. But there's some stage it's going to move back down into this grey zone. It will. I'm absolutely sure that some stage it's going to be returning to this area. Because this was a manipulation zone. Now where it is now, there's already 20 pips. I'd prefer it to be going a little bit higher so we can get that 30 pips out. But at some stage it's definitely going to come back here. Just need to wait for a setup. we're at that next POI. This POI, I probably should have labeled it, but this POI was the imbalance here. So let's see what it does inside of this little area, because this is liquidity pool. So maybe the first pancake is here. Now it might pull back, might dip deeper or higher, pull back, higher, pull back, not as high, and then start the drop. Could have got a beautiful clean candle to fill. So we're starting to get a little bit of speed as well, which is nice, because it might help a cowboy entry. Just want to see a little pop. So I'll be planning with confirmation something like at least this. Something like at least, I'm not really sure about where stop loss is going to go or where this entry is going to go, but I know where my take profit for partials is going to be. So the higher I can go, the smaller stop loss I can go, the risk reward will improve. But I still know at least where I can take a partial. That bit's already set. What's gold doing? Gold's 1900 still. Yeah, still too early. There's absolutely no trade right yet. Because it's the opposite of, what do we call it? This is a rising bayonet. Where'd my trap guy go? There he is. So that was the trap. This is not a trap. The trap is this was the trap. What happened in Euro Open? I didn't see any news either. I think it's all expectations of earnings. No scheduled news. Okay. So we're getting close to the hour candle closing now. Gosh, man, I've been waiting forever. So got to be careful of that hour wick fill. So this is still not ready. So remember what I was drawing, that like little Bart Simpson kind of thing. Oh, good one. Your first, your first client, first patient cancelled. It's just because of the time. Because if I saw an hour candle, like this, I would think Wickfield. Let's check out the ones. I was thinking this specific 1 minute candle was actually like it was fairly fast. I would have liked it to have been a bit bigger to maybe have done a cowboy, but we can still wait for a retest. We've removed 95 pips now from the open. So let's see if we can do another 15 pip push up, rejection, speed of a candle, and then we can look to take it back down here. And that would be like maybe a 40-45 pip move. Full margin. Okay, 1.5 minutes left for this 1 hour candle. Gotta wait for that wick fill. So this is pushing up a little bit higher. Alright, come on. 1 more minute and then we've got the hour close. Okay, 4 seconds, 2, 1, new 1 hour candle. Just let it do a wick fill. 5 minutes looking like a rejection, got a little doji. I don't want to take this anticipation in the very first minutes of the new hour candle. See the speed of that little thing? That's a good sign. Doesn't mean jump into anything. Please, please don't jump into anything. Well, this could be forming another setup to push down to this area. It's just as dangerous this early on. It's not a risk I want to take. But this is potentially the move down. When I say move down, like it could be just the bottom wick of the 1 hour. It's not like we're going to just have a complete reversal here. It takes time for, this is quite a bit of volume coming from London session. It takes time for that to turn around. Okay, it doesn't move just like that, like how I've drawn here. Why be patient? Because the patient trader eats the best fruit. Yeah, there still has room for upside as well. Because this is a dangerous way of trading, looking for this counter. Now, how would you feel if there's just no trade? Feel like that's a waste of time? Like, be honest, anyone that's gonna actually answer. Do you feel like this would have been a waste of time from watching these candles for an hour and a half, and nothing happened?
I'm learning to be fine with that.
Yeah, good.
And I think because I know that the alternative is me impulsively trading and losing money and then feeling way worse.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I've got to be happy with the fact that I using my intelligence and knowledge avoided losing money, which is good.
Yeah, that's it. Good. Because if someone said this was a waste of time, I don't think trading's for you. It's like it could be annoyed for sure. Like I'd be annoyed and be like, damn it, you know, I spent this morning, I didn't get anything. But if you're thinking it was a waste of time, it's not for you. Because you'll just make mistakes after mistakes.
And I think that the constant repetition is learning, at the form of learning as well. So there is learning in this.
Absolutely. How many times have you forced a trade, or we've forced a trade, and then you look later and the setup was right there, clear as day, after all this waiting? How many times like was there like my last week was fantastic, and I think as well, like it was one of these days, I think it was the day that was, it was a Thursday, wasn't it? Where it was the Thursday where I waited an exceptionally long time for all of this to move, to waited and waited and waited too long. And then we got, I think it was on the 5 minutes. This. Yeah, this one. Waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. All through here. Nothing really going on. nothing going on. Just thankfully I had things to do as well, and I'll just check in periodically now. I'm not going to sit here and just like consume my entire morning just watching each candle go by. We knew the zones that we're looking for. I'll check in every, say, 15 minutes. And this is when I was moving. I was taking paint. I think I was taping the walls when I was painting. And I thought I'll just check in every 15 minutes now, and then just look, because I don't need to get the top of the entry. I can get a late entry. All I needed was the confirmation. I don't need to take anticipation, waiting to try to get best price. Okay. Luckily, around about this time, I think it was about this time I think it was more or less here, where I was able to take this entry from up here. Well, I saw it forming, and I was just watching on the phone, and I entered about here. Because like I stopped streaming more or less around this point. And I thought I'll just check in, I'll just have a look at it, I'll just wait. I'll check in, now I'm just going to check in every 15, 20, 30 minutes. I've already showed up, I've already done the hard work. This hour and a half where I didn't take a trade, I was just watching the candles. The benefit of being here was I was able to at least set my levels. So I've done work. I've actually done work. I've done all the hard work in this time. Now all I had to do was be patient. And if I tried to be patient and wait through all of this and do nothing, just sit at the computer, by the time I get the entry, I probably would have convinced myself by looking at the 1 minutes and found myself in an early entry. But by knowing my levels, knowing what I'm looking for, and then being able just to have a look and just look at the phone every 15 minutes just to see where it is. I don't mind if I catch it here, or even wait till this 5-minute candle is closed, because I know where my zones I was looking for. I know I was looking for at least like a 50, 60, 70 pip move down. Doesn't matter if I get in super late and now it's just a 1-to-1 risk reward. It's not ideal, but does it really matter in the end of the day? Not really. Profit's profit. The time that you spend thinking it's a waste of time, I know everyone here said it's not a waste of time, but everyone that thinks it's a waste of time, this is not a waste of time. This is you showing up, doing the hard work, and being at the charts, being consistent with your time to look at the charts at the same time every day and plan your move. Sometimes you're rewarded and it happens early. Sometimes it takes a long time. Looking at the 1 minutes, you're going to find entries everywhere. And I don't mind the 1 minute. You know I love the 1 minutes. But I will only look at the 1 minutes when I'm not fighting against a close of a 30-minute or 1 hour time frame, or when price is in a zone I absolutely love. Do I absolutely love thin black lines? I don't love thin black lines. These are points of interest. I like proper zones. These thin black lines just get me interested in price action. If I'm interested to look at price action, I would prefer to see a higher time frame. But we've done our hard work here. We've watched price. We've sat through all of this, and you've exercised that patience. Now you can still miss a trade. I still miss trades. That annoys me. Missing the trade, either being distracted or just losing confidence or something. But taking impulsive entries when you means you're just not fully sure of your plan. Thinking things are a waste of time at this levels, and that you've just wasted an hour and a half. You got to see what you did well at that time. The hard work's been here every day, knowing that you may not get the trade. My camera's on. It's going to be soon time to get a coffee, isn't it? To get things moving along. So Doji, we've done the 1 hour wick fill. That's the beauty. The beauty is we've done the 1 hour wick fill now. See that? This bit. So that was why I wasn't looking. That's why I didn't want to trust this candle. Now I've got no wick candle. Price can still return. 15-minute candle is going to come to a close in 2 minutes 35 seconds. It'd be nice if this is a little rejection wick candle, because what could we do then? Can plan the retest inside of this wick. Only problem right here is we're in no man's land between these two thin black lines. We are in the inside of these two candles. So I'd prefer a really fast acceleration up into 15,780 and then potentially look for a cowboy. That's kind of what I'd prefer around this level. But I'd need to see like a 1 minute candle kind of jump 20 pips in like 15 seconds. That kind of speed. $15,780 is the level you're hoping to sell from. Yeah, that's that no wick candle. So if there was a no wick candle, or the 1 hour is like that. This no wick candle means that there was because it happened also in New York session, means that there was a sudden influx of sellers at that level. And it pushed down quite rapidly. Now, there will be residual orders left here that weren't quite filled. So often you will see a reaction. The size of the reaction, we don't know. We can only assume that there's going to be a reaction, and that the reaction is going to be dependent on how many orders were left unfilled. Dave's got trendline confluence. You and Nigel should discuss how you guys do your trend lines. You could probably help each other a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna start a little trendline club.
Yeah, yeah, trendline club.
Break away, and start a trendline thing.
I think you can do breakout rooms here. Our guys can put you in a room together.
Let's get all trendy together.
Yeah.
No, I find them remarkably useful as sort of handrails. You know, you don't expect it to respect them 100% of the time, just like horizontals, but it's quite remarkable how I can set my bias quite often based on the existence of trend lines that I put in, and it's very reliable.
That's good.
I find it really gives me a lot of confidence because I feel like there's some sense there. You know, I can see a pattern and it helps me to make sense of things. So I like it. Yeah.
Gives you a bit of a map. Yeah, I understand it. Part of liquidity trading is trendline liquidity. Right, there was a time back before the last. Do you remember? I think it was the 19th or something. Here, this was trendline liquidity, all being built up, and then the news, the interest rates, swept all this liquidity and then pushed up. This pathway is obviously old news now. I'm still maybe this could be New York New York, or maybe tomorrow even. I'm not seeing any entries just yet. So if there's an entry here, it's escaping me. It's probably on the 1 minute. Or yeah, there are some clues, but this is nothing I'm going to execute on still. Remember, to me it needs to be obvious. The obvious ones are the better ones. When I say obvious, it means like clear. The ones that you got to really like squint to see, I prefer just to leave alone. Not going to be something you're going to be, you know, consistent on a long term. But pushing down, so even if it pushes down to break this support, there's I could easily miss it. But if it sort of turns around beforehand, before this gray zone, then I would like to take that. I could always do that move, because if it's breaking underneath this support, this is 100%. 100% this zone has to be retested. I'm absolutely, this is one thing I'm extremely confident on. Now, if it hasn't retested it, hasn't retested it, like if it turns around somewhere inside of this area, then those pullback sells become a very valid option. If it shoots down and takes it, then I'm kind of left unknown, thinking, did it grab enough liquidity here to then retest this high again to push down? Because I know that this zone needs to be retested. This was where there was sells to buy. This was a sell to buy move based on the lower time frame. If it was a sell to buy move, they need to close those sells before they can really push price even further up. Usually, not always. So we haven't closed below it. So we're grabbing, we did manage to break the low. So I'm still, did it close on the 1 minutes? No, it didn't even close on the 1 minutes. This is a liquidity candle, a very low time frame liquidity candle. But these sells are going to come in clutch soon, I think. Breaking that low was a good little sign, because it still never tested this area. There is this no wick candle which price might want to return to. But if I saw like a bearish rejection candle from around this area, I might even look to target something like this. Something like that. Only be like a little 30 pipper for the first TP. But let's move this guy out of the way for now. 30 minutes coming to a close. 15-minute closing, still open, but 30-minute is going to be looking like a bit of a rejection candle. The 1 hour is still open though. So 1 hour could just be forming that bottom wick. Just continue pushing up. But if a 30-minute candle can close bearish, then I'd like to see if there's rejections inside of this area, which would correspond, if you can see, because I do have the crosshairs synced. You can see that the no wick candles near the top of this 30-minute candle wick. So if we can see rejections from that again, don't need to really grab the high, but just like to see some sort of rejection, pick up the liquidity, and then we can look for it to at least retest this zone.
What did you just say about syncing the charts or something?
Yeah, I've got it in here. So crosshair synchronized.
What does it mean? Sorry.
Oh, it means if I've got the mouse on this top left corner,
Yep.
you can see where that line is on all four of my charts.
Ah, okay.
Can you see it's very faint, but you can see like if I move, can you see the crosshairs moving on all of the charts? Top left
Yeah.
is moving much faster.
Yeah.
On the hour time frame, it moves much slower. On the 5-minute time frame, it moves very fast.
Yeah. Okay.
But it means I can like put my line on the top of the candle and I can see where it is on all the time frames.
Sure. Thanks.
Akshay's got. You're looking for something inside of this green area as well, Akshay?
Yeah. I'm looking at because we are still not bullish. We have to break this.
Yeah,
Then
the
I can
4-hour
say
wick.
I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah, then I can think about bullish momentum.
Mhm.
Obviously, we already created HCS here, but I'm not that much convinced with that HCS. I wanna see breaking this high and then maybe probably taking entry in this area for long opportunity.
Yeah, so you've got the exact same idea as me. So this is the lines. Let me go to mine. So these lines, these lines here, is that 4-hour one. So I'm looking for it to sort of pull down and then looking for that long opportunity to really start going long. This to go long. Okay, so 30 minutes. Still got a bit of time. Three minutes. Gonna see if I can see a rejection candle from this 7766 area. Just another 5 pips to go. Then it takes out that no wick. One minute's created like a little mini resistance. So it's important to see whether this holds.
Hayden, I'm just getting used to TradingView, and I'm sure this answer is somewhere else. But how do you link, like in smart charts, how do you link 4 quadrant screens together? So that if you just change one, change a pair, it'll change the pair on all of them.
This click on the little window thing here. Symbol.
And just change the symbol thing to on.
Yeah, so have sync and layout, have symbol selected, have crosshair selected. You can have interval. That means if you click on like anywhere in the chart, all of them will move to that time. So interval's handy.
Oh, okay. It'll flick to that time. That's actual time. Yeah.
Yeah, interval's handy if you're doing backtesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, have those two selected. Sometimes if you're doing backtesting, have the interval selected as well.
Yeah, and time.
No, don't worry about time. Time is makes them all 5 minute, like all the same time. So if you want, like sometimes you'll monitor multiple pairs. So if you change the time frame on one pair, it'll change on all of them. But because I've got one pair 4 different times, I don't want to have it selected.
Yep. Thanks.
For your drawings, you've got to have this one over here selected on the left hand side. This one here. So that syncs your horizontal lines on all the charts.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Did anyone take this one? George took it. Okay. Yeah, there was it didn't quite pull up higher, so I'm not in it. This is literally what I was hoping to see. So you can see the distance. Yeah. But now it's looks like it's gonna easily tap into this 15.729. Use that as your TP1, George. Because that would be a nice 30 pip move. Go on,
if you look at the 3 minute chart,
yeah,
you will see HCS was there on 3 minute.
Where? There's 3 minutes bottom right.
Oh, okay. So this was the previous HCS was this one. We broke that HCS.
Oh, so from underneath. Retest.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it kind of retest and then we are dropping. And now if you look at the 2 minute chart, you have perfect HCS there also. And previously this was a HCS.
Yeah.
Previous HCS.
Yeah. So that's your support. That's your support zone. So support turned to resistance. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the tops of the candles. I wasn't looking at the bottoms of the candles. But for this, yeah, I didn't even see that. Didn't see this bloody thing. Anyway. That's a good lesson right there, George. That's what we covered on our coaching session. Tops and bottoms of the wicks. So 30-minute candle close. Closed as a rejection, bearish. So the hour candle's still open, so we can still create like a bit more of an hour bottom wick and then push up. Because that's always a possibility here. I'm hoping that this was enough for that resistance to be established and reaction for you to got your 30 pips by the time it comes back to this zone here. Wasn't quite high enough for me. Come on, push down for George. Drop, drop, drop. Man, I'm gonna have to. I'm not sure how much longer I can wait. I'm gonna have to. I want to take this. I want to take this on the stream. Come on, drop. Yep.
Nice, nice. Drop, drop, drop.
Just another 5 to go. At least 5 more pips. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Not sure if I'm going to be able to hang out for the next setup, but I want you guys to understand why there was a setup here, and why did it have to come back to this zone? Can you guys answer me that? Why did it have to come back to this zone? Because if you can understand why it has to come back to this zone, it should start to really make it easier for you to be able to pick areas. Because when you can see areas that it needs to come back to, eventually you'll be able to organize yourselves to create ideas.
Is that where price was manipulated to push down to give the buyers a better price to buy from?
Yep. Yep.
And that initial manipulation area is, I don't know, why is it attractive for it to come back to? Does it leave did it entice buyers and then?
No, because they don't close those cells.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
So they sell to push price down, buy to push price up, but they've got buys running and they've got sells running at the same time.
Yep.
So now what they can do is they can sell down again to this area and then close those trades, or they close by buying back into it again potentially, or they can but there's probably many more layers to it. But essentially, it's like sell to buy, sell back down, ultimately to close these sells for a profit.
Yep.
So it gives them an opportunity. So they've basically manipulated the market. They've sold it down to buy, but now those sells are currently running at a loss. Those buys are running at a profit. So how do they get out of these sells now for a profit? By selling again up here, and then being able to close, like their average entry position might be somewhere here. So they've been able to make a profit either by both directions in the market.
Yep.
Obviously, it's going to be many ways that they do that, but there are some clearer ways where you can see those manipulation in the market, and those are the things where you see like rejection candle, which is on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, this was a rejection candle, resistance candle, wicked up, broke the candles to the left, closed bearish, price came up, wicked to this one here, wicked to the candle to the left, then closed bearish. So the way I draw the zone is from top wick to the open, not to the close. It's from top wick to open. If it's buying, if it's on the other side, it's bottom wick to open. Okay, because why would I use the open and not the body or the bottom wick? Why would I use the open but not the top wick? Sorry, why would I use the open but not the bottom wick or anywhere in the body or the close? Because you've got the open, you've got the high, you've got the low, and you've got the close. Why am I using the open? It's because
it's the only manipulation occurred in the wick.
Yeah, well, as soon as the candle opened, that's probably where they sold. They sold as soon as the candle opened. That's where the position was opened.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I'd say that when they put these orders in, from a computer sense, they're probably looking at doing orders at specific times, and these computers are probably programmed to. I'm theorizing here. Is the computer probably plan to open at a time? So it's going to be at a usually probably I'd say at either the close of a candle or an open of a candle, not really in the middle of that 1 minute.
Yep.
Okay, so that's how I draw the zones, and look, I could be totally wrong in my theory, but it's been pretty accurate so far. And if I can,
definitely helps to understand the why behind.
Yeah, if I can understand something that in my head seems logical, and then I can sort of test that theory out, and it's actually been fairly consistent, then I don't care if there's another explanation for it. Because the explanation that, like, as long as my explanation is sort of working, then I'm happy to just trust it. If someone can prove that there's another way that it's being operated in, I'm absolutely all ears to keep on improving. But this absolutely makes sense to me, that if they've manipulated the market to push down, so sell to buy, because I've heard sell to buy for a long time, sell to buy, and then sell down to close, and then they've made money either way. They always make money. It's not like they just sell once either. They'll be sell, buy. So they're very hedged that they've got, sharp moves either direction. It doesn't really influence them too much because they've got positions open both sides. And it's not like they've just taken one trade here, and then one trade on this candle. But this is something that's pretty interesting. See you, Nigel. This is pretty interesting because why would there be no bottom wick on this one? So at that specific minute, at that specific minute, which was 8:31, there was like I can't open a position that would move the market. It's not possible for me to do that. So something happened in this 1 minute that moved the market straight up. So there's a big order put in right here that just moved the market straight up. Didn't even need to push down a little bit. There was no seller that pushed price down to buy. It just bought and went immediately up. Same again here. So I'd say, you know, probably there were sells taking place here. There were sells taking place here. There were buys taking place here. I'm not sure about this bit. There were buys taking place here. There were buys taking place here. There were sells taking place here. There were buys taking place here. There were buys taking place in this rejection wick. There were buys taking place here. There were sells taking place here. There were sells taking place here. What did you do here, George? Did you take anything? 1 pip away. Closed. 30 pips.
No, not exactly 30, because I pressed the button a little bit late, so it went down a bit.
Okay.
About 20, 25 or 24 pips.
Good. It's still good. Still very good.
Cheers.
We get into the close of the 15-minute candle. This is getting then 15 minutes left for this 1 hour candle. So it'll be very interesting to see if this 1 hour candle flips bullish. But you can see the size of the heat, volume. Now we're starting to slow. So I'm hoping that we start kind of like this. That eventually it's going to get to one of these points, and then we're going to see that New York. Maybe it's going to be New York correction. I was really hoping it was going to happen in the stream. I couldn't get this entry because it wasn't high enough for me. Now it's such a close hit. It's such a close. Well, it's not even a hit. It's such a close. It got so close to it that I don't know if it's doing this. If it turned around, say here, I'd be more confident to take pullback sells. But it was so very, very close. I'd almost rather wait for to see a few 30-minute or 15-minute candles and then look for another rejection in this area. Okay. Alright, well, I can hear I'm going to have to go get my partner off to work. So I am going to go. I'm still going to be hunting these sells, but I'm going to check in when the 15-minute candles close, and I'm going to look for reactions from this 15,780, 15,800 area, just to see if I can get that sell down to at least 50% of this London range now. So I think that's a good idea, because London range is now 100 pips exactly, and any sort of pokes above the London highs is going to be a pull on liquidity, and I think you can target at least half of London range. So we'll see if that happens. Anyway, if it just drops from here, then my original plan, looking for buys under this Asian low, will take place, and I'll be looking for those buys. So
Thanks, Hayden.
you're welcome, guys. I'll talk to you all guys later, right? So take care, trade safe, keep your risk low, and I'll see you soon.